Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my declutter series again. We are on to blush palettes. So I'm going to kind of rapid fire this. So if I feel like I don't use the palette, then it's going to go from my collection. If it's something that I feel I'm going to use or something that I have used recently and I know I love it, then I'm going to keep it. So kind of making it a little bit obvious, but we're just going to rapid fire this. That way there we can kind of get through it pretty quickly. So the first one here is the Too Faced. This is the Love Flush palette. So this one is like the wardrobe they came out with. This does include all the different Too Faced Love Flush blushes that they came out with. So it has all 6 shades in here. This one is really, really pretty. I do love this one and use this one actually quite often. So I'm going to hold on to this one. The next one is this one right here from Becca. So this is the Becca Blushed with Light Trio. So this one is really pretty, the packaging on the outside. They always do a spectacular job with their packaging though. I think she does a fantastic job. Then the inside does include 3 blushes. Like it said, it has Wisteria, Songbird, and Snapdragon. So those are the 3 different shades. This is another really good palette that I'm going to hold on to. The next one is my Tarte one. So this is the Tarte Holiday palette they came out with this past year. I love the packaging to this one. I know packaging doesn't really mean that you should keep something or it means you should get rid of it either way, but I really do like the packaging to this. And the inside, these are actual Tarte blushes. This is the actual real formulation. So I know like sometimes with their holiday palettes they've come out with, the formulation's not the same. This is very similar to the formulation that they already have, so it's almost right on. So I don't think it's exact because I feel like their holiday palettes are off by just a tad, but this one I think is the closest I've ever tried. The next one is a Tarte palette. This is the High Performance Neutrals. This one technically is not a blush palette, but it looks like this. So it looks like a little artist pan. So it's got the blush and 2 different eyeshadows. I don't ever reach for this, so I'm going to declutter this. The next one is a Makeup Revolution. This is the Makeup Revolution Ultra Blush palette. It is really, really pretty. The colors in here are, but I don't find myself ever reaching for this. And I know that it's a beautiful palette and I feel like somebody else could get use out of it. So I'm going to pass that along. The next one is this one right here. This is the It Cosmetics. This is the Confidence in Your Glow. This one is the Instant Warm Glow. These are beautiful. These like you can kind of swipe along all along one way and get like a really kind of like a almost like a multi. Do you see what I'm saying? You swipe it along and then you're going to get a little bit of dimension to your blush. That's what I'm trying to say. I couldn't think of the word dimension. Or you can use it in individual rows. You've got your little bit of bronzer here, you've got the blush, and you've got a little bit of highlight. So you can use it either way. I do love these and I think I have all 3 and I will be keeping those as well. The next one is my Viseart. This is the Viseart blush palette. This is a blush and bronzer palette. This one is really pretty. I love this one. This is called the, actually I think it's just called a blush palette. It's called the 01 Plum Bronze. I don't know. I don't think it actually looks, I guess these are bronze. These have to be bronzers because this one here is more of like a purpley shade of a bronzer. It's not really a brown shade, but this is a really good bronzer blush palette. I don't technically use all the bronzers, but I do like to mix my blushes with bronzers because I think it gives your skin more of like a sun-kissed look. So I like this one as well. So that one I will be holding on to. The next one is a huge one. This is my Makeup Revolution, like the metal palette. So this one has inside of it, it has both of my Tarte, the big blush books inside of here. Maybe I could be able to show you. So it comes with this little piece right here to help protect it. But then I put all of my blushes inside of here. So if I ever want to travel and I want to take a lot of blush, or if I want to take one of these out individually and stick it into a Z palette, then I have this. So I really do like all of these. So I'm going to hold on to this as well. Oh, this one's so big. The next one is this one right here. This is the Smashbox one. Smashbox came out with this, I think like in 2016. This was their holiday palette. This is called the LA Lights palette. This one was, I love this one. I highly recommended this one to you guys because I think it's beautiful. It is so much product in here for the price that you paid for this. The mirror in here is ginormous. The mirror is like this whole full side. So this is an excellent palette. If you can ever get your hands on this one, I totally recommend it. This is probably one of my favorite blush palettes that I own. The next one is this one right here. This is the Sephora one. So this is the Sephora Blush, Bronze, and Ready to Glow. It's really pretty. It was their holiday one, so it's really pretty. But honestly, I don't ever find myself reaching for this. I think it's just a pretty palette. It's just not something that I reach for. So declutter. And the next one is a Nars. This is the Nars Stephen Klein palette. And it looks like this on the outside. It's very, I don't know, very modern, very artsy. And then this is called the One Shocking Moment palette. So here's what it looks like on the inside. These palettes are very, very nice because especially for this right here, if you're someone who's in love with the Laguna bronzer, then you're getting a full-size Laguna bronzer in here. So this is definitely worth the value. And the blushes are amazing. So I'm totally going to hold on to this one. I'm like really tongue-tied today. The next one, or the next two, are my two blush round ones from Tarte. So this was another holiday thing they've come out with. These are really, really good as well. The reason why I love these so much is because these are small and compact, and it's perfect to travel with. You throw this in your bag and you've got a ton of different blushes to choose from. But then you've got 10 different products in here. You've got your highlights, you've got blushes, and it's just really, really nice. I love these. If you were able to get your hands on these, you probably know what I mean by saying that these are absolutely amazing. The other one I have is the purple one, and this one is called the Color Wheel. I think they're both just called Color Wheels. And they look very similar, so I think if you had one, you didn't really need both. But I do have both, so I'm going to keep both because I really do enjoy Tarte blushes. So I'm going to hold on to that one as well. The next one is this palette from Erin. So this is the Erin Kaleido palette. So I don't even know how to use this palette, to be honest with you guys. It's a really strange palette for me. So I'm not sure how to use this palette. I have tried it several different times and I just cannot figure it out. So for me, I'm going to pass this along because if it's taking me that long to figure out how to use it, then I don't need it. The next one is a Tarteist blush one. So this was another, I think this was like a holiday one, I'm pretty sure. This one is very similar to the first one I showed you with the pretty packaging. So it's got the 4 different blushes inside of here. Again, Tarte blushes are amazing. They're more, like, I don't feel like you can go in too heavy-handed with the Tarte blush. So these are really good as well. So I'm going to hold on to that one. The next one is the Sephora Ombre Obsessions palette. This is a huge palette. Like, this palette is like almost as big as my head. It is a very big palette. And you get a nice size mirror inside of here, and you get lots of blushes. I have not found myself reaching for this one for a very long time, so I think it's time to pass it along. So it is a beautiful palette. It's got a really nice highlight in the center, but it's just not something that I'm reaching for, so pass. The next one is one of my newest ones to my collection. This is the Balm Girls Getaway Trio. This has Balm Springs, Balm Beach, and Balm Desert. I have tried all these different blushes out, and I really like them. I know some people don't really like Balm Beach because they think it's not really deep enough and it's not dark enough to show up on your cheeks. I, however, find that it does show up on my cheeks. So I don't think it's a very pigmented color. So if you're looking for something that's more pigmented, I don't think you're going to love it. But it's something that's just very lightly, like a light hand of, I don't know, it's like a little angel whispering on your cheeks. It's really beautiful. The next one is what is this one? This is a Sephora collection. This is the Sephora Blushing For You. This is a really nice one as well. It's like a split pan one. But honestly, I don't like split pan palettes. Split pan palettes, I find them hard to use. The only time they're good for is if you are going to already mix both shades. If you're not going to mix both shades, then it's hard to figure out how to use those. Your brushes are usually too big, especially for a blush, to get into both of these separately. So I'm going to pass that along. The next one is the IT Cosmetics, the CC Radiance palette. So this one's a really unique palette. It has a bronzer, a blush, and this is a face powder. For the longest time, I had no idea what this powder over here was. I was like, what the heck do you do with that? But then I finally figured out it's like a setting powder. It is a really nice palette, but this is another one that I don't find myself reaching for, so I'm going to pass that one. And the next one, or the next two, are the other two IT Cosmetics ones. So this one here is the Instant Nude. This one is a really pretty color as well. Like I said, if you mix all the colors together, it gives you kind of like a dimensional blush. I love the way this looks on my cheeks. The next one is this one right here, and this is called the Instant Natural. So this is more of a pinky toned one. I love this one as well. As you can tell, I kind of use this one a little bit separate. You can use them separated or you can use them all together. It doesn't really matter, so I'm going to hold on to that one as well. The next one is a Sephora. This is the Sephora Contour Blush Palette. I still have it in the box because I didn't use it very much, obviously. So here's what it looks like on the outside. It's got the pretty much a traditional packaging for Sephora packaging. And then you do get some beautiful blushes in here. I have not played with this one very much, so I think it's time to pass that one along. Okay, the next one is this one right here from Tarte. So this is the Tarte. I love the packaging to this. It reminds me of like a little clutch, and it's got this little cute little hair barrettes or whatever. It's got those attached to it, so it does technically look like a little purse. Then you click this little right here and it opens, and then you got more Tarte blushes inside of here. This is beautiful. I love this one. I love the packaging to this one. This one for me, the packaging I think is what kind of kills it for me. I love it so much. So I'm going to hold on to this one. The next one is this one here from Smashbox. This is the Smashbox Bronzer Blush one. I don't even know what this one's called. It doesn't really have a name on it. It is a really pretty palette, but this blush over here is way too light for me. And then the bronzer, I'm not a huge bronzer fan. I know I could mix all of these together, but I feel like I have most of these colors already in my collection. I do love Smashbox, but this is something I'm going to pass along. The next one is a Lancome. This is a Lancome Blush Subtle. I have no idea. This one is another one that's very, very light. It's very fair. It doesn't work for my skin tone very well. So I'm going to pass this one along as well. Then I have a Laura Geller one. So this is the Laura Geller Baked Color and Contour. So it has a highlight, blush, and sculptor bronzer. So here's what it looks like. This one's a really pretty one. I like the packaging to this. It's a little bit bulky, like it's a little bit rounded and bulky, but it is a really cool, unique packaging. I do not think that I've reached for this one for a long time, so this one's getting passed along. Told you guys, I'm doing a pretty good job about decluttering. The next one is this L'Oreal Infallible Paints. My friend sent me this one, Lashes Tony XO. I love the bright, bold pops of color in here. This is perfect for summer, so I'm going to hold on to this one. Then I have the Makeup Forever. This one is one of my favorite ones. I think it's because it's like got a lot of memories to it as well. This is actually, I think they call these shadows. I don't even know. They say shadows. It doesn't say blush. But this was in the 50 Shades of Grey collection my husband purchased for me for Valentine's one year, and I love this. The blushes are a little bit bold and poppy. The highlights perfect, spot on. This one here especially, this blush is like crazy bold, but I do love this. So I'm going to hold on to that. Then I have the Urban Decay Naked Flush Palette. So this one is one of those that's kind of like the split pans. So it's got like the blush, the highlight, and the bronzer mixed in here. I don't love this blush right here. The blush is way too bright, bold, poppy pink for me, so I'm going to pass on that one. The next one is an Hourglass. So this is the Hourglass Ambient Strobe Lighting Blush Palette. So here's what it looks like. It's got a purple blush. It's got more of a bronzy looking blush and then a peachy blush. I do love this one very much though. Hourglass has some really great products because I feel like they are more like subtle on your skin. They don't look so bold and poppy. Again, I don't like when you put your makeup on your face and you're like, whoa, clown face immediately. I feel like Hourglass is very easy to work with. The next one is a Nars palette. So this is the Nars Foreplay. This one is really unique, but honestly, I don't reach for this one, and I haven't reached for this one for a very long time, so I'm going to pass on this one. The next one is the Real Her Be Fearless, Be Limitless palette. Now, while I did find this one to be a very unique colored palette, I know myself, I have colors already in my collection that I have that are like this. So this is something I know now I should just go ahead and declutter while I'm doing my declutter, so I'm going to go ahead and pass that along. Okay, let's put that one back in this little container. And then, oops, I'm trying to stack these up. Then we have the Nars Unfiltered 2. I love this one. This one's really pretty. First of all, the mirror is pink. I love that. Secondly, the blushes are beautiful inside of here. So this is a beautiful palette I'm going to hold on to. Keep. And then I have the Anastasia blush kit. This one totally surprised me because I thought for sure I was not going to love the Anastasia blushes. But after trying this one, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to try more of her blushes. They are absolutely amazing. I do enjoy this one very much, so I'm going to hold on to this one. The next one is this one right here. This is a Nars Narsissist. This is called the, I think it's just called the Nars Narsissist. It's a little smaller palette, so this one's perfect to travel with. It does come with your little blushes in here, a little bit of highlight, or not highlight, but bronzer looking shades, a little lippy in here. I think there was something else. Was there something else in here? Maybe not. Yes, there is. So you just pick this up right here, and then underneath is your little bronzer and your little highlight. So I'm going to hold on to this one as well because that's a perfect one to travel with. You've got your bronzer, got your bronzer, your blushes, and your highlight included into that smaller package. Then we have the Lorac Cheek Palette. So this is the Lorac Unzipped Cheek Palette. These colors are very pretty, but honestly, this pink, most of these pinks in here, I'm not going to use. They're not my shade. It's not something that looks great on me, so I'm going to pass on that one. The next one is this one here from Hourglasses, the Hourglass Ambient Diffused Light Palette. This one actually is not technically a blush palette because it's got a bronzer, it's got a blush, and then it's got a highlight in here. But this is one I just happen to have in my blush drawer, so I'm going to hold on to this one though, just because first of all, I do love it. Second of all, I love Hourglass, so holding on to that one. Then I have an e.l.f. palette. So this is the e.l.f. blush palette. It is really, really pretty. I do love e.l.f. blushes. This is in the shade Light. Now, I know these shades of pink are pretty much similar to the ones that I was saying I don't like, but for some reason, these look better on my cheeks than what the other ones that I just passed on did. So I'm going to hold on to this one because I feel like this looks better on me than the others did. Then the next one is the Fiona Styles. This is the Fiona Styles multi-dimensional color palette. I love Fiona Styles makeup. Her makeup is very, very good. I wish it was still sold at Ulta. Here's what it looks like. It is a really pretty palette. I am going to totally hold on to this because her highlights are amazing. They're not so bold and poppy. I feel like they're more natural looking, and that's typically what I'd wear on an everyday basis, a more natural looking highlight. I don't like a bold poppy highlight on an everyday basis. The next one is this one right here from Urban Decay. This is the Jean-Michel, I'm not even going to try to pronounce the last name because I know I'm going to butcher it, but this is the Gallery Blush Palette. This is another one that's really, really pretty. I love the packaging to it. I think the packaging is really unique. It looks like this on the inside. Now this is another one that I really do love and enjoy. It's got some really unique colors in here, so I'm going to hold on to this one. The next one is, this is a Benefit one. So this is the Benefit Cheek Parade. I have a lot of Benefit Cheek Parade palettes, and I don't know why. I need to figure out if I need to keep all of these because I don't think it's necessary. So this one here looks like this on the outside. It's got the ladies with the little boxed blushes on the with them, and then on the inside you get Hula, you get California, you get Rockateur, you get Dandelion, and you get Hula Light. So all of these are beautiful colors. I love California. California is a little bit more of a peachy, but it's got a little bit of a sheen to it. It's beautiful. So I am going to hold on to this one, I think. So for now, what I'm going to say is I'm going to hold on to it, but it may end up decluttered because I feel like I have way too many of the Benefit ones. So look, another one. I have the Cheekathon. So here's the Cheekathon. And I think if I figure out which ones are duplicated, then I can just keep the ones that are not duplicates. So this one has Dandelion, Hula, Rockateur, Dallas, and Coralista. So I'm pretty sure I have Coralista in the small size. Maybe I'll just get rid of the smaller ones. Maybe that would be smarter to do than keep the bigger ones. I don't know. Either way, this is another one that I'm going to kind of debate on. And then the last one I have for Benefit is the Real Cheeky Party. So this one's a metal palette. So the others are more like a cardboard packaging. This one's metal. And it looks like this on the inside. Now if I were to get rid of any of them, this would be the one I think personally I would get rid of, just because these, I don't know. Something about the metal I don't like. I don't like the metal packaging. For some reason it makes me think of being a kid and with my pencil cases at school, and I don't know why. I just don't like this one. This one actually, yep, it's gone. So I'm going to keep the other two. Good deal. Then we have the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette. So this one looks like this on the outside. I'm sure you guys have seen this one before. It is beautiful on the inside. I do love this palette. I think it's amazing. So I'm going to hold on to this one. Then we have, what else do we have in here? Oh, this is one of my newer ones. This is the Pixie by Petra. So this is called the Book of Beauty. So it's got like eyeshadows, blushes, and all kinds of different face products in here. I haven't tried this yet, so I do want to give that a chance to see if it's good. And then the other one I haven't tried is this one right here by Coastal Scents. So this is the Blush and Bronzer palette. This reminds me a lot of my Too Faced bronzer palette. And I think that's the reason why I ended up picking it up. I think it was like on an Ipsy deal that I picked this up. But it reminds me of my Too Faced little book of bronzers or something like that, I think is what it's called. But of course the bronzer one doesn't have blushes. But these look really, really pretty and promising. I'm just not sure that I need it. I got it and then I'm like, what do I need this for? I don't need to dupe it out or anything, because I'm sure that if it even is a dupe, you can't get the little book of bronzers anymore. So it's kind of silly. So I think I'm going to go ahead and pass on it. I'm not even going to try it because I don't think I need it. Honestly, I have enough blushes. There's no point in keeping it if you know you're not going to use it. You're just using it for one video, and that's just silly. Don't even touch it. Okay, I think that is it. That is all. So let's see how many we did declutter. We have 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 I decluttered. So that's pretty good. That's not too shabby. So then I kept 2, 4, 6, oh goodness, 7, 9, 10, 12, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 21, 23, oh my goodness, I kept a lot, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. I kept 29. So 29, I got rid of 17. So I got rid of about a third. That's not too shabby. I don't think that's bad. So that's better than I had. So anytime I can declutter any amount of makeup out of my collection, that just makes me happy, because especially if I'm not using it. So if you are interested in picking up any of the products that I am going to be decluttering, as long as they're still in good condition, I am going to be having them on Poshmark, so I will have my Poshmark account linked below. If you're interested, if you're not interested, that's okay too. Anyway, I'd love to know what you guys think, how I did on my declutter. Let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later.